Now we're in another YouTube video. Well, what are we going to be doing today? Is it planets, stars, black holes? I don't know. Well, glad you clicked on this video to find out. Subscribe! Oh, hello! Well, I'm so excited because this is another chapter. Well, glad you clicked. So, we're going to be doing today, what if Jupiter and Earth ever met? Well, first, we need to get to know Jupiter a little better. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system, made up mostly of gases. And, wow, it's made up of the same stuff as our sun, but just much less of it. And, well, it's made up of hydrogen and helium. Now, we call the sun a basketball, and Earth is a sesame seed. We still call it Jupiter a basketball, but that's pure. That's let Earth be nice. That's put Earth at the gripe. That's right. So, now we know how big Jupiter is. It's about 1,368, something like that. Might be 1,006. It doesn't matter. We know it's big. So, this is the centre. Alright, we're going to do your bits of the planets, right? We're not going to put the planet. Okay, that's where Earth is. That's the sun. That's Earth. Yeah. And this is Jupiter. This is the asteroid. This is an asteroid belt, and it doesn't go around Earth, it goes around Mars and Jupiter. But this is Jupiter, and that is Earth. Okay? You know, it's Jupiter, it's the largest planet. So, now we know how to get there. Let's just move Earth a little closer. Well, that's good for the journey. So, first of all, it will start on a usual day when Earth is having its trip around the sun, and suddenly it will leave its orbit and head straight towards Jupiter. And to get there, we would have to be going at 38 kilometers per second, not per hour, per second. And going at that speed, it would take us 242 days. Now, at first, we wouldn't witness the cold immediately. And why cold? Glad you asked. Because Jupiter is much further away from the sun than Earth. In fact, if we were to travel to Jupiter and then travel to the sun, so we travel to the sun, counted the time, and then we counted to Jupiter and counted the time, it will take 3 times longer to go to Jupiter. So it's much colder. That's a hint. It is way colder, especially on its moons. And, well, what would happen? So, at first, it would get not chilly because, well, Earth's atmosphere would act like a buffer between Earth and space and the people. And, well, alright, fine. When we were as far from the sun as Mars, days would become twice dimmer as they used to be. Well, we'll be able to see Mars. It would look like a small red sphere hanging low over our heads. Jupiter would become as bright as the moon. I think that's a bit obvious we're going there. Right, then we nearly we go past the asteroid belt. We're going to be witnessing amazing meteoroid showers, and lots of people, in fact millions, will, instead of sleeping at night, will be watching Jupiter go bigger and watching the meteor shower. By the way, several of these asteroids and meteoroids will actually make it through the Earth's atmosphere, flattening mountains and leaving behind gigantic craters. And some of them will be over 50 feet, over 500 feet in diameter, and that's over 200. That's over 2 times the size and the weight of the one that wiped out the entire dinosaur. So you might want to just run away hop over to Mars. Then, after 242 days of travelling through space, we'll finally reach our destination, Jupiter. And, well, I'm not too sure we'll make it to the gas giant. Well, first, let's talk. This won't be the first time Jupiter collided with another planet. No. Well, 4.5 billion years ago, about 66 million years after it was formed, 66 million, it's a big number. You know why? That's when the dinosaurs went extinct 66 million years ago. Anyways, Jupiter looked like this. And there's another planet twice the mass of Earth hurtling towards it. And Jupiter's core was a bit like ours, but just very rock solid. And when it collided, it made it to the core and just turned it into more gas and mixed with the outer layers of Jupiter. But forget about that. Right now, we're half the mass of that planet. So, we hurtle towards it at breathtaking speed. And, well, Jupiter has 79 known moons. And, well, they'll be hitting the Earth side by side, and that might wipe us out immediately. But just say we got through there in one piece. Of course, Jupiter has its own set of rings, but say we got there in one piece. Whew. And we got there and we collided. Well, we wouldn't make it to Jupiter's core like the last planet did, was mass of Earth, and change it back. But what we would do is we would burn up in Jupiter's atmosphere. And just like we talk about, the roast on it goes around the planet kind of like this. And, well, this isn't a comet. These space factors need to know about comets better. Blimey. Okay, so this is the roast on it. Once Earth made it through, there'll be a lot more rocks chasing us, but we got there in one piece, as I said. And we'll burn up in its atmosphere. As it's roasting, it just decays into dust. And we would turn it into hundreds of trillions of space rocks, asteroids or fireball. Who cares anyway? Anyway, either the gas giant will have another pair of rings. It's got enough pair of rings. Every planet that has rings has enough. Thank you. Blimey, why can't Earth have rings? Really? We would die. Very sad. But how does collision transform Jupiter forever? Well, not much. The moon, however, not Jupiter's 79 moons. Gosh, what are you thinking? Blimey. And our one moon, Earth, there we go, tiny. This is our one moon. It will likely get catapulted into outer space. Likely to go into an elliptical orbit around the sun. Kind of like asteroids just circling around the sun, but very fast. Like, one rotation will probably be, like, in the time I said this, it could probably go around the sun's a couple of times. Now, a year will be very short, but, I really want to know what the asteroid belt is. I'm sure you do as well. Well, that's for another video. Subscribe!